take us to last night's action. The Cowboys and the Packers. There was too much buildup for it to live up. Right? Wrong. There's the man of the hour, Micah Parsons. Didn't really hang out much before the game. Did dap up Dak in the coin toss before it starts. There's Jerry. Here we go. Fourth quarter, because this one was going back and forth. Josh Jacobs finding a hole, Tedy, and finding the end zone to give the Packers the lead.
Yeah, poor tackling for Dallas right there, but Jacobs, tough runner, gets in the end zone.
Back and forth we go now. Cowboys a 4th and 2. George Pickens, what a night he had. Drive continues, and it leads to this, D. Wood. Power football, Javonte Williams.
Oh, yeah, he's been a revelation for the Dallas Cowboys in their run game. Really good pickup by the Cowboys.
So the lead goes back to the Cowboys, 30-27. 4 minutes to go, 3rd and 8. How about the catch from Romeo Doubs on the sideline to keep the drive going? He had 2 touchdowns plus that catch on the Guardian cap. Now 3rd and 10. Here comes his 3rd touchdown, Tedy, and the Packers regain the lead.
Another revelation there, Wood.
Yeah. 3 touchdowns. Now Cowboys driving, 3rd and 3. Prescott, Jalen Tolbert, 28 yards to the 19. They've got a chance to take the lead. And then on a night where Dak Prescott was spectacular, George Pickens was his primary target. Rex, how about the night for Pickens?
Oh, it's unbelievable. And just think of this. How good is this guy going to be when CeeDee Lamb is back?
One would think. He had 8 catches, 134 yards. That's his 2nd touchdown. Cowboys up 37-34, 35 seconds left. Jacobs, where's the tackling, Tedy?
Not there, Grady.
It ain't in Dallas.
It's nice when you get a check down and you go for 25.
25 yards to set up this final seconds of regulation. Brandon McManus, 53 yards. 60 minutes of football, insufficient to settle the issue. 7 minutes left in the overtime, tied at 37. 2nd and 7, Tolbert. How about this catch, D. Wood, on the sideline, keeping the toes in bounds? Will give you a couple of looks to set up what could be a game-winning touchdown.
How about that dead leg by Tolbert there to concentrate on the catch and keep both feet in bounds? Unbelievable.
2 plays later, 2nd and goal at the 4. Micah didn't wreck this game, but Rex here, he maybe makes the biggest defensive play of the game.
Yeah, he saved the game. This game's over. Dak's going to run in there. Look, boom, comes in and finishes. That's what closers do. Find ways to get it done at the biggest moments.
It's Micah's only sack of the night, but it's a huge one. Cowboys kick a field goal, so it's 40-37. Packers get the chance to answer. 4th and 6 from the 23, so this is the ball game. Matthew Golden picks it up, 14 yards, 28 seconds left. Now I want you to watch the clock at the bottom of your screen. The Packers have no timeouts. Check down Emmanuel Wilson, can't get out of bounds. We got 20 seconds and we are counting.
We gotta go.
Go.
It's a 3rd down, so they can take one shot in the end zone and still have time to kick the field goal, but we need a little urgency. But at this point, you might want to consider just spiking it. Oh my God, they're going to throw it in the end zone. Out of bounds it goes, and there's 1 second remaining. Matt LaFleur, what the hell are we doing there?
You're in Dallas.
How does that
not tick off?
Exactly.
Without
Dallas.
the clock.
In Dallas.
McManus, some 34 yards, and it's good. And Micah and Dak embrace after an absolute thriller. 40-40 is your final. It might have ended in a tie, and yet it still might have been the most entertaining game of the year. 80 combined points, the most in a tie since 1964. Second half, blow for blow. Both teams scored on their final 9 drives, the longest streak to end a game since at least 1978, which is far back as we can count these things. And as for the protagonists in this drama, here are Micah and Jerry after the game.
I'm not even gonna lie, I'm pissed off, I'm very disappointed on just overall how we performed. I even told Jordan to the side, thank you for having our back today.
That game was probably a great game for the NFL as far as a showcase for the game and competition because you had outstanding quarterback play, you had some very talented people out there playing. You certainly had one of the most expensive players in the history of the NFL out there playing. And so I guess everybody was going to take a look tonight and decide, is he worth all that? It's very simple.
Right.
Dak was indispensable in my mind.
Right.
And so, yes. And Micah wasn't.
Put your feet up, folks. We're 25 minutes commercial free to start the show today, so we've got plenty of time to dive into all of this. He said that the whole world could decide if he was worth all of the money. Dak was indispensable. Micah wasn't. Was Jerry's decision vindicated with the game last night?
Hell no. Are you kidding me? By the way, you realize Micah Parsons saved the game for the other team.
Right.
You do realize that he had, 8 pressures in the game, and you had to spend the whole game doubling him? Here, you actually signal him. That's why he sacked your quarterback. And how about this, Jerry? If you guys can just stop anybody one time, your offense is good enough to be undefeated. Your defense stinks. By the way, how bad? You given up 16 touchdowns. You forced 12 punts. Hell no.
That's a very bad.
Let me say that impactful play they made. Okay, right before half. That was pretty big in terms of the Dallas defense, in terms of
Were you as shocked that they got a strip sack?
I was, but still, they made a big play that gave them the lead. And sometimes in games like that, all you need is to make one impact. Here it is right here. So I got to give it up. I'm with you. I know how valuable Micah is, Rex, but look at this right here. This is an impactful play on defense that the Cowboys made, and this was a better play than Micah. Micah's play was huge here, but this was a point-causing play right here by the Dallas defense, and you got to give them credit for this because Houston stripping this right here and then getting the sack and then Dak to Pickens for the touchdown, that was big.
Hey, can we show that one more time because we've only seen one play that this defense has made in 4 games. So please show it again. This is James Houston, who, by the way, had 8 sacks in 7 games for Detroit. But for some reason, he's not there anymore as a rookie, but he never did anything for 2 years. But this is like,
but the point
is,
Micah made the tackle. Micah made an impactful play also.
But
Houston's play right here, they made one on defense for the Dallas side of the ball. That's all I'm saying here, Rex.
I agree.
There were a lot of people who thought Dallas wouldn't even be in this game. And Dallas took Green Bay to overtime, had a chance to win it. Dallas has now had 2 overtime games in 4. The defense hasn't played well at all. Yes, they missed Micah. We know this. But let me say this. Jerry Jones is in the entertainment business. This team right now is entertaining. They were missing 3 offensive linemen at one point last night. Their starting center's down, their right guard's down, Tyler Guyton goes out of the game. They're playing with backup offensive line. And the Green Bay Packers with Micah Parsons couldn't hold them to less than 40 points in an overtime game. And so, again, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys are one of the better teams in the NFC. But they're entertaining, they're competitive, and they played right there last night with Green Bay.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Look, they are. Their offense played phenomenal. I know, D. Wood, you're going to talk about, Brian Schottenheimer, the job he did. So I'm not going to steal that thunder, even though it's a great point, and I should. But I'm looking at this. Green Bay, you're right. They gave up 40 points in that game. They only gave up 40 points in 3 games combined. Correct. That tells you the job that Brian Schottenheimer did.
Let's talk about the Cowboys. Look, the point remains. The idea that Jerry is vindicated in this game last night strikes me as patently ridiculous. Yeah. The Cowboys' defense has been unimaginably bad. Yeah. The fact that we have to highlight the one good play they've made in 4 games this season, I think, tells the story itself. The point is the Cowboys' defense is that bad. The offense looks that good even without C.D. Lamb, and who gets the credit for that?
I'm giving Brian Schottenheimer tremendous credit. Think about this. You go into the game, and Schefter, you talked about it. You're missing 3 offensive linemen. C.D. Lamb is out. And you, by the way, coming into the game, the best defense in the National Football League, and you put up a 40-burger. That just shows you coaching matters in the National Football League, the way you got to take away game records. Micah Parsons is a game record. Micah Parsons was pretty much held in check because of the schemes and the things that the offense did to really take him out of the football game. So I got to give a shout-out to my former offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer, for coming up with a really good game plan against a really good defense in the Green Bay Packers.
And how about George Pickens? He really showed up last night.
And he had to. He absolutely had to. They attacked the cornerback Valentine of the Green Bay Packers, but with no C.D. Lamb, 2 backup offensive linemen not there, and Pickens coming up big with a couple touchdowns is exactly what Dak needed because Dak put it up for him right here. This was just a quick little reading the pressure. Pickens coming down with this shoot. With Pickens, it's more like a 70-30 ball here. Great catch on the sideline in front of the pylon. Great game by Pickens. They needed him. He came through. Just do it week to week now.
How's that trade working out?
Pretty good by Jerry. Pretty good by Jerry.
They got so many things right. That's the frustrating thing. They got if Micah Parsons was on that team instead of the other team, the Cowboys would have won this game and what actually I think be having a chance to have a pretty interesting season because that offense is that good, even with CeeDee Lamb on the sideline. Let's get to the way the game ends. The Packers bleeding the clock the way they did, and all of America screaming at the television, including Chris Collinsworth, who I thought was going to jump out of the booth. What the hell are they doing? Tedy, you had the best theory that I've heard from anyone. Who's the one person who might be responsible for this ridiculous sequence?
It's Brandon Aubrey. Really, I believe so, because everyone knows the leg on this kid, and all you need to do is get to the logo, and then it's going to be good. I mean, 60, 65, possibly 70, he could make it. So I can see LaFleur, what he's thinking in his mind. We can't leave any time left, no time left on the clock, and let's score, because they've also got a great returner in Kevontae Turpin, and then also they've got the best kicker in the league with the biggest legs. So you got to know that's going through their process there.
Yeah, and what should have been going through their process is scoring a touchdown, because to me this thing here never should have been thrown. Like, what are you doing? Like that right there.
Right.
And I'm just going to tell you this: Jordan Love, as talented as as a quarterback as he is, and I know Dano's MVP of the league, he's not even close to that. He's not that guy. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not Josh Allen. All those guys that we're talking about, they win this game. Lamar Jackson, they win this game. This one right here, he doesn't. He comes up short. And we've seen him make big mistakes in big moments, and he comes up short here. They get the ball down there. Yes, he's talented, but I would never. How the hell do you throw a check down here? What are you doing?
The pressure is coming, so he should be throwing that away.
Yeah, but the ball should. I mean, come on, man.
In the end zone.
In the end zone, and let's go.
Right.
And get the thing moving down the field. Instead, there's no way. Like, instead of worried about the kicker over there, score a touchdown.
Again, I can't believe in Dallas that the clock doesn't run out. Like, it's debatable there.
Right.
There's 1 second left, and if they had lost the game with that play, that would have been one of the gaffes of the early season that would have been talked about with A.D. Mitchell in Indianapolis.
Hey, should we be checking the waiver wire for the clock guy? Because homeboy might be out of a job.
It is remarkable that after this is the Cowboy team that, remember, didn't get another playoff after they ran for that first down in the playoff game several years ago, and now here the clock
right here, how slow this process is going
up
on here. And Schefter, you're right, because if this ball doesn't hit, I think it's Sanborn in the back and go straight down to the ground, I mean, that clock is gone. I mean, if any type of throw, but the fact that Love just sort of put it up there like that, the quarterback has to know how much time is left.
I got to say this, because nobody's going to talk about it, all right? When you see that last second when the guys are getting lined up, the receivers are about 2 yards over the football, then they realize they got to back up.
Yeah.
They did not have a legal formation for the last 3 plays. I'm just telling you. I saw the way those wideouts were lined up. And I mean, nobody will say it. No, there was never a flag. But I'm like, holy, they're not even lined up right. And so I guess they let things slide or something like that. But there was times in that sequence right there, and that's what to me was really disappointing. Like, Green Bay Packers never looked like they were ready for the moment.
Well, guess what? They have a bye coming this week, so they could work on lining up in the right way.
That would help.
And managing the clock.
That would help.
It begs sort of one more question about them, and then we'll get to Kansas City and a bunch of other things. Again, we're commercial-free with you here for another 10 minutes. 2.5 weeks ago, we were talking about the Packers like they had become the best team in the league. They obliterate Detroit week 1, then they win a Thursday night game, then they sit and watch everybody play. Then all of a sudden they get stymied by the Browns defense, and last night they're in a hard-fought tie. Did we anoint the Packers too quickly?
I didn't anoint them. I don't know about everyone else, but I think the biggest thing is the NFL is truly a week-to-week league. Okay, like 1 minute you sitting on the mountaintop, and I like the great Nick Saban always said, be careful that rat poison that you take in. Those guys were talking about undefeated, all this and that, and then next thing you know, you go on the road, you lose to Cleveland, and you end up with a tie. So we're only in week 4, folks. There's a lot. There's a lot going.
Yeah, we're still in. With it being September, okay, and then how the preseason always. I always wait in terms of making judgments in September, because week 3 and week 4 always teams. That's when the improvement comes. That's when you'll start to see teams like. I mean, the Chargers. They came up. Now they're back down. I mean, the Cowboys. It looks like they're improving. The month of September, a lot of things can happen.
No.